What is my first choice for a parrot in the price range of 1,000 to 2,000? Yeah, we're getting up there, and of course there's more parrots above 2,000. Hi, I'm Kaylin, the author of the Parrot Bliss Bond. Please be sure to get your copy on Amazon so that you can learn everything that you need for your parrot in order to provide a happy, healthy, safe home. Parrots definitely have some special safe things that they need. In this video, we're talking about parrots that are going to cost over 1,000 and under 2,000. And again, please remember that prices have gone up this fall, and that it's sort of relative. Like here in Florida, our prices aren't as bad as prices that I see listed up north. In other words, some of it is the free market as far as demand and supply goes. And so prices vary, and these are prices in the U.S., and I don't know what prices are like in other parts of the world, although that would be very interesting to find out. I've got Binks, my golden conure, in this video because he flew on to me. Even though he does not fall in this price range, he is above this price range. So Binks is going to have to represent others. And I do have my Amazon, one of my Amazons there, my orange-winged Amazon, Tico, who is eating some fresh veggies. So that's always a good thing. In the over 1,000, under 2,000 price range, we're going to have a Hans Macaw. And I'm surprised that I'm not being photobombed by her as we speak. I'm just having my jewelry stolen. We're going to have Derbian, I think, parrots, Indian ringnecks, Alexandrites, if I'm saying that right, because I always forget. I think a severe macaw is going to fall in there along with the Hans Macaw. And in the conure category, we're going to have some conures like the blue fronted or crowned. I always forget, but they're pretty, they're blue. They are common for uncommon conures. The cherry-headed macaw, not macaw, conure. So we're getting into conures that are a little bigger. They're going to be actually maybe a little smaller than Binks here, but about Binks' size. And so that's going to be, like I said, that price range. Now, I'm going to tell you, if you have heard my videos before, and if you've heard me protecting my earrings, oh, I see. If you've heard me say before, I tend to shy away from a lot of conures because of the noise. When it comes to the smaller conures like the green cheeks, which are the, I'm going to pronounce it as best I can in Latin, the Puria family or genus, they tend to not be quite as loud. The Aratingas tend to not be quite as loud. That's going to be the peach front, the dusky, half moon. But when you get into the Gendays, and I forget what their genus is, Genday, Nanday, gold cap, which are really beautiful. I thought about breeding gold caps. They're going to be louder. And so, but those are all going to be, like, you should be able to find those for under 1,000. And so above 1,000, when we talk about the conures that are a little bigger, the blue crown and the cherry head that are so pretty, just so beautiful, they're going to be louder. And so I don't know the personalities because I have not had the pleasure of working with them, and I haven't had the displeasure of my ears hurting more than I already have in my house. The Indian ringnecks I know, and actually, you know, a lot of people don't know this. One thing that's really cool is there's an Indian ringneck, there's an African ringneck, and one more. Indian, African, am I going to forget now? Oh, I forget. The African ringneck is a little smaller and really pretty. Oh, and there's the plum heads. So now we're talking about the Asiatic family. Indian ringneck, Alexandrite, African ringneck, plum head, and the Derbians. They're all the Asiatic family, and some Indian ringnecks are going to be under 1,000. I think that the African ringnecks are going to be under 1,000. And they're a little smaller. They're not easy to find. I've only seen them once or twice. They're pretty, but don't forget that family, the Asiatics, they're going to be less bonded. They are more of an independent bird. Whereas binks here, we cannot come downstairs in the morning when it's dark and have a cup of coffee in private because Binks is awake and he wants to be cuddling with us. He's extremely cuddly. My Amazons are as well. Tico's a little bit of an exception. He's a rescue. We don't know his history, and he's a little more distant. He's got some of that emotional baggage that keeps him at a distance, although he loves Binks. And actually, that's one reason he's making the sound back there, because he says that I have his Binks, and he doesn't like that. So, I'll give him his Binks, and we'll see. Oh, in just a minute of time. And we'll see what I mean. Binks is, he's very bonded. So those Asiatic parrots aren't going to be as bonded. I unfortunately also don't have experience with the severe macaw. I've seen them. I've held them. I think that they can be, like, my experience when I've seen them, they haven't been loud. And I saw one that was a baby, I saw one that was older, and they both seemed kind of like just sweet. Actually reminds me of Binks. Kind of like the potential for a lot of noise, but not really noisy, loving. And I would say, frankly, kind of like Emerald too, my Hans macaw. So I think that the Hans macaw and the severe macaw, they are the mini macaws. There's also a noble macaw that's going to look an awful lot like Emerald, a Hans macaw. I believe those are the only mini macaws, I think, those two species. And I do like them. I don't know if I've ever seen a noble macaw. Maybe I've seen one once. They're not very common either. And I'm assuming that they're going to fall in the same price range as the Hans macaw. I think they do. So out of those categories, the Asiatic birds, which are like the Indian ringneck, the conures, which are going to be the blue crown, the miltrid, I don't know exactly how you pronounce them, which get confused with the cherry head. They have the really just beautiful cherry red on their heads. And the macaws, which are the Hans, I think the noble and the severe. And you know, I don't know if you're going to find Gothams. I don't think so. If you can find it, in this price range, you're also going to have the Jardines and maybe some Africans, as far as like the Myers parrots. They're going to either be, I think, under 1,000 or over 1,000, but they're in this neighborhood. I do like the Africans and the Jardines, which are also an African parrot. You know, I haven't had one, but I have heard they are just phenomenal. And frankly, I went with a Cape instead of a Jardine. The Jardines are they're in this price range, I believe. They were. And I think that if I didn't have a parrot, if I was growing my flock, I would definitely consider a Jardine. Now, given that Amazons are going to be in this price range, and of course there are some Amazons that you're going to find for under 1,000 and some you're going to find for over 2,000. Some of that's going to depend on age and how rare they are. If I was buying in this price range, I would look at the Jardine and I would look at an Amazon. On Amazon, I'd have to be okay with the sound. Amazons are said to greet the day, that means yell and scream, and say goodbye to the day, and that means yell and scream again. And Amazons can be rather loud. Are all Amazons like that? No. Are all parrots loud in my house? No. But should you expect them to be? Yes, absolutely. Should you expect your Amazon to be loud? Yes, absolutely. Should you expect your parrot to climb over your head and eat your headband? Yes, Absolutely. Should you expect your parrot to eat your jewelry? Yes. Otherwise, you know, they may not, but generally speaking, if they're a parrot, generally speaking, they're going to. So I would do an Amazon. If money wasn't an issue, I would do a blue yellow-naped Amazon. If you're not familiar, the blue yellow-naped Amazons are all blue. Maybe their nape is still yellow. It is a factor, which means that they have been bred special to be that color. They look phenomenal, and they make a yellow-naped Amazon that might be around $1,500, $2,000. They might be $2,500. It depends on where you get it and stuff like that. If you get it from a breeder, you're probably going to pay less. But that's the price range. You know, I would expect to pay $1,500 to $2,500 for a yellow-naped Amazon. It depends on where I am and all that. You know, because like I said, different stores are going to have different prices, different states are going to have different prices. If I wanted a blue one, instead of $2,500, that's going to be $25,000. And maybe they're more now, but we're looking at over $20,000, maybe under $30,000. So but that's phenomenal, right? And I had to mention it because if we're talking about yellow-naped Amazons, they're just stunning. If I had the opportunity to get, what's that Amazon? Sometimes it's hard to think when I've got my golden love climbing all over me. It's like the biggest Amazon. Mealy. Mealy Amazons are supposed to be phenomenal. I have only seen one for sale one time, and I only saw a breeder one time when I was visiting someone's birds. They're rare. They definitely have this look about them, like they're magic. I think that they're basically just supposed to be super friendly. I think like the best of the Amazons. So I can't speak exactly to what and why, but I can tell you that if I didn't have my flock pretty much complete, and I had the opportunity for a mealy, I would take it. I would take the Jardine, I would take the mealy. So they're my top one choice in two. But I will say that orange-winged Amazons are supposed to be really phenomenal, like Tico. And Tico's pretty awesome. Okay, sweetie. Okay, why don't you go spend some time with Tico? You cannot swallow my earring. You cannot. So I'm getting a little uncomfortable because we don't want earring swallowing. I've never had a parrot swallow an earring, and I'd like to keep it that way. So a lot of times when I'm spending a lot of time with my birds, I don't even wear earrings. So if I had the chance, I would get the mealy. But my flock is complete. However, please cross your fingers for me. I do a little bit of rescuing, and that's how I got Emerald and a budgie and one or two others. But and sometimes I rehome them. I find them the right home. If I feel like the right home is here, I leave them here. I do what I think is the very, very best for the parrot. And I may be getting some birds, some large birds that someone is not able to take care of anymore. I'm kind of excited. We'll see, what comes. And I really love experiencing new parrots and seeing what they're like. And, after all, parrots are my bliss. All right, so this video needs a wrap and earring protection. Thank you if you made it this far. Hopefully you can look forward to my videos with maybe some new birds that maybe will get rehomed. We'll see. Have a merry holiday, and I will catch you next time.